Washington has spent the last year getting much tougher on foreign drones and critical components. But that still leaves a harder question on the table. What exactly is supposed to replace them? And that is the real story behind the Commercial Drone Alliance's latest policy push. Restricting foreign systems is the easy part. Building a US drone industry that can actually scale is much harder. In this video, I want to break down what the CDA is actually asking for, why this is about more than one white paper, and what it means for operators, manufacturers, and the broader US drone market. Because the larger signal here is that security policy and industrial policy are now colliding in the same conversation. Let's start with the context. The federal government has already moved in a more restrictive direction. The FCC updated its covered list for certain foreign drone systems and critical components. And the FAA has a BVLOS proposed rule on the table that is supposed to make scaled commercial operations more practical. So on paper, Washington is already doing something. But the CDA's argument is that this still does not add up. Its message is basically this: if the government restricts foreign systems faster than domestic manufacturers can replace them, the result is not automatic drone dominance. The result can be higher costs, fewer choices, slower adoption, and a domestic market that still lacks the scale to support a serious industrial base. That is the real point here. A restriction is not the same thing as a replacement strategy, and the CDA says the structural problem is deeper than finished aircraft. The white paper points out that US drone makers still depend heavily on imported flight controllers, cameras, sensors, motors, batteries, and PCBAs. So even companies trying to manufacture domestically are still exposed to the same supply chain weakness. That means Washington is not just trying to replace one brand or one category of aircraft. It is trying to rebuild a much deeper electronics and component stack. That is why the alliance is not only asking for protection, it is asking for coordination. Its biggest recommendation is a White House-led drone dominance task force chaired by OSTP. The logic is simple. Drone policy now runs through multiple agencies at once: FAA for operations, FCC for equipment and authorization, Commerce and Treasury for industrial and trade policy, DHS and DOJ for end-user demand and public safety support. If those agencies are not aligned, the industry gets squeezed from multiple directions at the same time. The paper also ties manufacturing directly to demand. That part matters. The CDA is arguing that domestic manufacturing does not scale on patriotic messaging alone. It scales on demand, capital, and regulatory certainty. That is why the paper pushes for public safety grants, infrastructure inspection funding, BVLOS finalization, and a narrower TSA security burden. The message is clear: if operators cannot scale, manufacturers cannot scale either. Then you get to the money. The white paper calls for tools like Defense Production Act Title III, EXIM financing, SBA lending, 45X tax credit changes, tariff relief for manufacturing equipment, and better transition planning for companies trying to onshore production. This is where the story gets bigger than drones. This is industrial policy language. The CDA is effectively telling Washington that if it wants a domestic drone sector, it has to help finance the transition instead of just tightening the rules and hoping the market figures it out. So what is the practical takeaway? For operators, this means the shift away from foreign systems could still be expensive and uneven unless domestic alternatives scale faster. For manufacturers, it means Washington may finally be talking in the language they have wanted for years: demand support, financing, component depth, and clearer timelines. And for the broader market, it means the next phase of drone policy is less about whether the US wants a domestic industry and more about whether it is willing to pay for one. The key point is simple. The Commercial Drone Alliance is telling Washington that restricting foreign drones is not the finish line. It is the start of a much harder job. If the government wants a real US drone industry, it needs more than bans and headline policy moves. It needs a coordinated plan to create scale. And until that happens, the risk is tougher rules, fewer options, and a domestic market that still is not strong enough to carry the strategy. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications for more clear, fact-based drone analysis. Keep following along for more grounded coverage as this develops.